Hi everybody, we're here at Kme Winery in upstate New York again. I'm here with Jay Buchsbaum. This is Gabe Geller.
Jay Buchsbaum.
And we're going to have some fantastic wines. It's perfect for this weather.
I'm going to start with the Rosé, is that
Absolutely,
okay?
100%.
All right. And even though it's not Pesach, I'm going to pour you first.
Thank you. Okay, so this is a beautiful Rosé from Côte de Provence in France, which is thought of the birthplace of rosé wines. This is a beautiful rosé to drink on a hot summer afternoon. So there we are.
I love this wine because you can drink it with food. It's got good structure, so it stands up to food, but it's also a great quaffing wine.
It's really good, it's refreshing.
Completely dry though.
It's completely dry. It's a bone dry rosé, refreshing, good acidity. And very inexpensive. It's perfect for the summer.
And
what is
the varietal?
The typical varieties that they use in Côte de Provence are Syrah, Grenache, Counoise, Cinsault. Many grape varieties that we're not very much used to in other wines actually. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Let's do the Riesling.
Are we doing the Riesling next?
Yes.
Okay. What is this Riesling from? Tell me about this Riesling.
All right, so this is the Carmel Kayoumi Riesling from Israel, from the Galilee.
The vineyard, the place where it grows, is so crucial to how good the grapes are and, as a result, the resulting wine, finished wine. It's a 2014, which is interesting because it's the year before Shemitah, yet it's a white, and it still smells and, I don't know, I guess
in great shape. Because Riesling, like Chardonnay, is one of the noble grape varieties. So there is Cabernet Sauvignon, there is Merlot, there is also Riesling and Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc.
How many noble grapes are there?
How many noble grapes are there? So we have Cabernet Sauvignon, we have Merlot, we have Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Riesling,
Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir.
This is quite dry also, right?
It is quite dry. And it's a very old world German style Riesling, very dry, it has some funk to it. And the thing with Riesling, well-made Riesling and Chardonnay, is that as opposed to most white wines, they can age. And this is a 2014, so it's 4-year-old already, and it can still go for quite a few more years.
Quite structured, still quite fresh. I'm going to teach you something. I'm going to have some fun. We'll teach everybody out there something. Well, here's a new way to open a screw cap. Instead of holding the cap, hold the bottle and hold the bottom.
And there you go.
Boom, there you go. And that's kind of a fun way to present it. I'm showing this to wait staffs throughout the city when I do my seminars for the wait staffs. And they go, oh, wow. And some of them say, I did it last night for a table and they loved it. So tell me about this Tabor.
Okay, so Tabor, great winery in Israel, which in the past 5-6 years have really up their game and make a fantastic Sauvignon Blanc, fantastic Chardonnay also. This Sauvignon Blanc is actually coming from a single vineyard of old vines up there in the Upper Galilee.
But when you talk about old vines in Israel, understand that what you're talking about is vines that are typically between 20 and 35 years old at the oldest.
Correct.
In old world wines, you can have vines that are 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years old.
This is a very aromatic, beautiful wine. It's also quite inexpensive. It's below $20 and it's delicious.
What I love about Tabor in general is it's the only winery in Israel that has an agronomist, which means that they focus enormously on where the fruit comes from and how the fruit is harvested and when the fruit is harvested. Here's a winery that focuses first and foremost on the quality of the raw materials, and this shows it.
That's correct.
So, oh wow, and it's got great aromatics too.
Delicious.
And this is a sparkling wine that comes from Champagne, France. Not to be confused with sparkling wine that is not from Champagne, that people call Champagne anyway.
Yeah.
But this is the real McCoy. I spoke at length to the Rothschild people, and they only make it from Chardonnay. So I'd like you to taste this.
Sure.
And why do you think it's a good choice for summer wine?
Okay, so sparkling wine, dry sparkling wine, Champagne especially, they have the ability to pair with basically all kinds of food except most desserts, sweet. But anything salty or deep fried, it's fantastic. But on their own, they're so refreshing that it's just perfect for when it's hot and for a party in the backyard.
What's interesting about champagne, now we are not drinking it in the proper glass, so that everybody knows that. It should really be drunk in a flute. And the reason for that is that what you're looking for in champagne is how tiny the bubbles and how active they are. And also you want the bubbles to be retained as long as possible, so when it's in a flute, they will be retained longer.
Actually, some of my wine-loving friends prefer to drink champagne in a regular wine glass so that you can properly smell the aromas of the wine, which is a little bit harder in the flute. How do the wine also get sparkling? They don't add gas, CO2 to the wine. The secondary fermentation happens actually in the barrel, when they actually open the barrels during the fermentation process to remove the yeast that go down to the neck of the
bottle is upside down.
Yes. So the wine really sits on its yeast for a long time and really soaks in the yeasty aromas, which translate into aromas that might remind you of.
You know what this reminds me of?
Bread.
It reminds me of rye bread.
Exactly.
It reminds me of Williamsburg. And let's taste it.
Hi.
Sparkling wine is an excellent choice for the summer. But what's interesting is we're showing the $90 to $100 champagne. There are champagnes in the 40s and 60s from Drapier. There's also lots of great sparkling wines like the Prosecco from Bartura, which is about $20.
Cava Freshenet.
Cava Freshenet, which is
Or
also
LD
in
Cava.
that range, and a really enjoyable summer quaffer. So here you go. Thanks. We tasted 4 wines today. That doesn't mean you have to stick to that, the summer quaffers. Ask your local retailer. Well, here's to you. Have a great summer, Gabe.
To you as well, Jay. Enjoy.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.